Hi, welcome to today's series where we are going to be doing some movements using the wall as our support. So come along, make sure you have something supportive to lie on that's fairly close to the wall so that you're always protected. So we're going to come and take our lie down position onto our back, and just starting with your feet up against the wall. I'm not exactly at a right angle. I want a little bit more bend at my hip position. And we're going to go into a rolling action of your pelvis coming away from the wall and peeling yourself up into a bridge and then lowering yourself down. Now, because your feet are that little bit higher, when you come up, there's a tendency for you to potentially go too far and sort of cut the back of your throat off and go into too much extension in your neck. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So we're just feeling the effect of the body lifting up away from the ground, lengthening from your knees down to your shoulders, and then back down again. So you can keep going with that, but we're going to add in some arms. So as we go over, we'll send the arms back and behind. Keep the arms just off the mat as you roll the spine back towards the floor, and then lower the arms to your side. And again, as you peel up, the arms go with you. And then we roll the body down, hovering the arms, and then lower them back towards your side. One more time like that as we bring everything up and away, and then lowering yourself down. As the arms travel forward this time, you're going to curl the head and shoulders forward, looking towards the wall, as though you're trying to get your fingers to touch the wall surface. And then as you lower yourself down, the arms will travel overhead. And again, curl the head and shoulders forward, feel the reaching of the arms out into the distance, and then lowering yourself back towards your mat. We have one more time to do that as we roll the head and chest forward, getting the upper back into a nice curved position, and then down towards the floor. We're adding on to the movement. So as you curl your head and shoulders forward, you're going to slide one leg up the wall and then lower yourself back down. And then the other side is going to slide and come back down. We've got another time each side as we go to lengthen the leg long. This is great preparation for things that we do in a teaser version or even potentially into our hundreds version, and lengthen long. So now for more of a challenge, we'll take both legs up the wall, curl and reach, and then slide down the wall. One more time as we send the legs all the way up. Get ready for it. We'll bring the legs down. As you send your head and chest down, arms go over, hips go up towards the ceiling. Lower the pelvis to the floor. Curl the head and shoulders forward. Slide the legs up the wall. Slide them down, arms traveling over, hips lifting up. And then returning the body safe to the mat and contract forward as the legs slide up. We've got one more time like this as you bring yourself down and peeling over. And if you're anything like me, you might start to notice that you're inching just a tiny little bit away from the wall, and that's okay. Stay lifted here. We're going to go into a little round of breathing. So inhaling for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breath in. And out. And in. And out. One more round. And out. And then resting all the way back to your starting point. We're going to flip over onto your side and then push yourself up onto all fours position. So I'm just going to put my hair back out of the way that I'm not doing bridging anymore. And we're going to find a position where we've got our setup, hands under shoulders, knee under hip, as we send the other leg against the wall. So I want that leg to be straight. So you just have to find the position where that is possible for you. So the leg goes up against the wall. We're nice and strong into our upper body position. Your opposite arm to leg is going to slide forward and slide back and to the front, to the back. One more time, forward and backward, and then place your hand down. Take your toes into a tuck, and from there, hover your knee, lower your knee, and lift and lower. We have one more time, high, low. From here, you're going to undo that foot. You're going to spin your toes towards the side, reposition your underhand, and spin to look. sideways. So with this one, you'll often find the bottom will want to go backward. Get the sense that you're going to push that bottom hip underneath you. Send your top arm towards the ceiling and then lower it towards your side and lift it high and lower it down. And one more time, up and down. Send it to the top. You're going to rotate, sending the arm overhead, turn to look at the hand on the mat, and then back to the side. And rotate, look at the hand on the ground, and then back in front of you. One more time as you spin around, and then back to your start. Slide that leg down the wall, and you're going to come down onto your forearm position and have the other leg up against the wall as well. So from this position, we'll stack our 2 feet, feeling that you're not slipping down into your shoulder, but that you're really pressed up and long. Slide your top leg up and down, and lift and lower, and 3, 2 more, 4, and 5. Bring the leg down just halfway. Slide the leg to the front, slide the leg to the back. I'm going to do an opposite arm and leg movement. So taking my hand back as my leg goes forward and vice versa. And 2, and 1, and then settling it all the way back again. From here, I'm going to bend into my knees slightly, place my hand back onto the floor, unstack the feet so that they're against the skirting board. And then from here, I'm going to come into a side plank. So I'm going to push my feet into the wall and send myself over, reaching the arm long, and then bend and come back down. And again, pushing all the way up and bringing it down. Last one is coming up. We're going to stay in the position. From here, we're going to rotate around, place both hands underneath you, put both feet up against the wall. So you've got your toes on the ground, move your mat if you need to, heels are placed steady against there, taking in 3 breaths. So we did our 100 breathing just a moment ago. So still feel the expansion in the inhale, the contraction in the exhale. One more time. And breathing out. And then resting down. Now you have to remember which leg you started on. We're going to take that leg out back behind you. You may need to move and shift, and that's okay. Check behind you that your leg is not higher than your hip line, a nice straight line all the way from the heel towards the buttocks. Opposite hand slides out, slides back. So we're reaching it to the front, to the back. Last time as you send your arm forward and back, and then you place your arm back down, tuck your undertoes, and then we hover your knee, lift and lower, and 2, and down, and final 1, 3, and down. Flip your foot, turn around, replace the hand, and find yourself in a side position. So your toes are facing away from you. Bottom hip goes underneath to secure your position. Top arm to the ceiling as we lower the arm, lift the arm, lower and lift. One more time, lower, lift the arm up, send the arm over towards your ear, rotate to face towards the hand on the mat, and then de-rotate. 2 more times as we take it over to the side, and then back to looking square. 1 more time, wrapping through. Try not to drop in your chest as you do this movement. And then from there, we bring it all the way down, slide your foot towards the wall, come down onto your forearm. So we're going to go into our stacked position, so 1 foot on top of the other, and just giving yourself a lift away from the underarm, so not collapsing into your shoulder. Top leg is going to slide up, slide down. We're in 5s here, 2, and 3, and 4, and last time 5. We're going to take our opposite arm motion, so arm goes forward, leg goes back, and slide in the other direction. 2, and 3s, and 2 more to go, and final 1. And then bringing it back in. We're going to return in. We're going to take 1 foot in front of the other. Hand gets placed. Knees are starting in a bent position. We're pushing out into our plank. Take breath in. As we exhale, go over, reaching your arm all the way. And then coming back down, smooth control. Make any adjustment as you need to. So sometimes, things change, and that's okay. Maybe one side of the body doesn't feel the same as the other. That's exceptionally normal. Lengthen long, and then pause here, rotate, place both hands underneath the shoulders. And then keep your feet against the wall. This is harder than you think, working with a little dog who wants your attention all the time. Hold your position strong. Keep your heels touching the wall as you bring one knee towards you and back against the wall. The other knee in and back. One more time on each side, marching your knees towards you. And then from there, you're going to drop and just give yourself a nice stretch position. Oh, if your heart rate is not up by now, I'm sure it is. All right, so taking a seat now against the wall surface. And this is up to you. If you can keep your legs nice and straight and maintain your position of your head against the wall, brilliant. If you need to bend your knees just to give yourself a little bit more space, go ahead and do that. I have to move my clip out the way so that I can keep that head balanced. From here, we're going to keep hands on the ground to begin. You're going to start with the top of the head leading away from the wall and stretching your fingertips down towards your feet. And just feeling the back of your spine still in contact with the wall, and then returning yourself back up to sitting high. And then we repeat, top of the head peels off, shoulder blades, middle back, into lower back area, but keeping the feeling like your navel was attached to the wall behind you, and then sliding yourself all the way up tall. We'll do that one more time just like this. This is such a beautiful feeling for your upper back. It gives you a great stretch. It's lovely for your shoulders to feel a bit of a draping, and then returning up. Now you can stay with your hands on the floor, perfectly viable option, or send the arms out in front of you and again rolling your spine away from the wall. We call this spine stretch, and then bringing your spine upright again. So as your head is going forward, your body is peeling away from the wall. You want to feel those fingers reaching up, but not so that your shoulders are coming up towards your ears, and then coming back into an upright alignment. We'll do it one more time as we peel away, and then bringing yourself all the way nice and tall. So from here, we're going to go onto all fours, spin around to find the wall. And then in this position, again, we're on our knees, and you're going to take your hands out in front of you. So we're going to drop ourselves back so that you feel your hands on the wall in line with your shoulders, and knees pretty much underneath your hip area. So holding this position, start to look up over towards sort of the height of your middle finger, and then lowering yourself back down, ears in line with biceps. Lead the crown of the head forward, feel the chest bone starting to aim its way towards the wall in front of you, and then lowering yourself back into a long line. We'll do that 2 more times as we pick the head up, looking out in front, and then returning easy to the mat. So really feeling like your arms are staying steady and the flexibility is happening in the spine, in the ribs, and then back down into your start shape. From here, we're just going to make our way back onto our back where we began, and slide yourself in to that original position. So when your knees are bent, you're sort of at a right angle shape. So sending the legs up the wall, crossing one ankle over a thigh, and slide your leg down so that your foot against the wall is at that 90-ish degree line. So in this position, it's very common for the pelvis to roll back and get light off of the back of the back of the tail. So you want to really feel like you can put the tail back down on the mat. By lengthening it towards the wall, you're going to deepen the stretch inside of the hip, at the back of the area of the hip joint. So easy, comfortable breathing. And then slide that leg up the wall again. We switch the 2 sides over, cross ankle over thigh, and then sliding your leg down. Now, if you can slide your foot all the way towards the floor, then you've lost the point of the stretch. So then you might need to come in closer to the wall surface so that you find it a little bit of a challenge. you feel like you've got a guideline or a barrier or a perimeter of where the stretch can feel supportive. You don't want it to feel like it's at the end range. You don't want to feel like you are, just not able to breathe through the movement. We want to stretch, but we don't want to complicate our joints. And then from there, we'll just keep the legs up the wall. This is some people's favorite move, as it's a very relaxing way for you to just release any pressure that has been built up in our lower ankles, which can happen from standing on our feet for too long in a day or with extra heat, depending on where you live. Maybe just making a little bit of movement with your toes, because also our lymphatic system, swells around our feet and then travels up our body towards our heart and our spleen. So this is a nice way just to let the feeling of the rivulets run all the way through the back of the body to the pelvis, and then it'll be making its way towards the heart and spleen. From here, again, just making your way smooth, quiet, easy, tipping yourself over to the side and bringing yourself up to where we began. So I hope that was an enjoyable experience for you, and that you have a new appreciation for a wall while you're doing some workout. Catch you again in the next one. Bye.